Straightforward conversations, no filters, beyond the headlines, just the facts. This is the Newsmaker. Thank you for joining Newswatch Plus. I'm Lois Calderon. The clock is ticking for U.S. trade partners. Reciprocal tariff rates will return if countries fail to forge trade deals with the U.S. during the 90-day pause. That ultimatum expires in July. And American President Donald Trump's policy is shaking global commerce. How should the Philippines position itself as an investment destination in a rapidly shifting trade environment? Today's Newsmaker, Italian Chamber of Commerce President Sergio Boero. You've been a businessman, not just the president of the Italian Chamber of Commerce in the Philippines. You've been doing business in the Philippines for over 1 decade, but in Asia Pacific, that's about 2 decades. Now tell us how the Trump tariffs will impact business here in the Philippines for Italians like you.
First of all, I want to say that I don't think the tariff is a good move for any country. It creates global tension, and it doesn't help the world to recover. So I'm totally against. I want to clarify this. For certain countries like the Philippines, it could be also an occasion to develop business in production line. Since one of the last discussion about the tariff could hit China very much. So some of the company producing in China could decide to move to the Philippines and explore if they can produce in this country.
Okay, hold that thought. So you're joining somehow the argument of those who say, looking at the Trump tariffs from a different perspective. I mean, the upsides of Trump tariffs, which is the tariffs that are being imposed in the Philippines are lower compared to its ASEAN neighbors, say Vietnam or Indonesia, and even China, right? We're only at 17%. So you see it as an opportunity for the Philippines still?
Well, it could be. It could be. We also have to see that things changing every day. So what we heard yesterday, it could be changed tomorrow. So we need to see at the end what will be the list of tariffs in the country. But for sure, there are opportunities in this country.
Those who have put up factories in China, all right, say Apple, for instance, most of the iPhones are being manufactured in China and then shipped to the U.S., although it's not really clear. Initially, the White House or Trump said they will be slapped with tariffs, and then the White House says no, they're still exempted. We're actually still waiting whether or not. There will be another flip-flop in the statements, whether the smartphones and laptops and other electronic products will be slapped with tariffs. So what you're saying is that those who are doing business in China or manufacturing there, they could move their factories here. Why does that make sense?
It could be an option. But I don't believe that the President of the United States is going to put in trouble an American company. But if it's going to be like this, it could be a chance to move from China to Philippines, the production line.
You've worked in China. For how long was it?
5 years.
5 years. And you're talking of which cities in China?
Well, my industry originally was fashion and design. And at the time was around 15 years ago. We didn't have any problem. So, and it was the big time where everyone around Europe moved to China to produce and also to sell inside this big market.
Was it in which cities in China did you?
First Guangzhou and then Shanghai.
You've seen factories there or the business. So I was just curious then, if manufacturers will see the Philippines as a more attractive location. We're talking here also of the entire supply chain, right? So, and some of the considerations would be logistics, power costs, infrastructure, things like that. And being a foreign businessman, What do you think would be the cost involved?
This is a very important question because, first of all, we need to see what kind of industry, what kind of product eventually could be moved here, number one. Then regarding the expertise of the people, very important. And then also we need to consider that, like you said, the cost of infrastructure, the cost of electricity, that here is pretty high. So it's a very articulate discussion, and again, it depends on what kind of product eventually you could move from China to the Philippines.
And you have ideas to what kind of products would that be?
Well, it comes to my mind immediately Nike.
Okay.
It could be a chance to come here and produce the shoes in the Philippines. Then I would like to remember that in the 80s, 70s, 80s, Philippines was the capital of production of the shoes for the United States market. Then China arrived, and then, of course, everything was moved to China.
Because it's cheaper there.
It's not only cheaper, it's also about the quality of the pipeline. Chinese invested a lot in technology, innovation, so I saw factory in China at that same level of Italy with a different price.
Nike, big production line. That
Yes,
okay,
could be.
Made in the Philippines and then shipped back to the US.
Yes, all over the world also, in the region, why not?
So what you're saying is that chances are we're going to see some products no longer with that tag made in China, but rather made in the Philippines.
Could be, why not? Yes. I hope so, because it's also an opportunity for the country to grow.
You're also dealing with businessmen across Asia Pacific. The Italian Chamber had been holding road shows in Singapore, Australia, Japan, Hong Kong. Yeah, what's the sense that you've been getting from businessmen in terms of doing business in the Philippines, especially in this kind of environment where we're seeing already trade war?
It's our job going around the region and displaying the opportunities that are in the Philippines. So we encounter curiosity, and then we already received many visitors. I've been the president of the chamber for 10 years. We start to do this after my 5th year, and I see the response from many businessmen around the region, very interested in the Philippines.
If the argument in this kind of environment, when we're expecting protectionist policies from major trade partners like the U.S., how should the Philippines prepare itself as an investment destination?
Well, we have been discussing with the Philippine government, not only the Italian chamber, all the chambers, that we would see better results with a more open country. No red tape, and being willing to open the country to investors, helping the investors to come. So no tariff, no barriers. It's not only for the Philippines. My concept of business is that all the countries should be more open, everyone. You welcome the foreigner. The foreigner brings a new way of working, thinking, and when you listen, you learn. When you close, you don't listen, you don't learn. And everyone needs to learn, to improve, and to innovate. And for me, that would be the way, especially for the Philippines, to create an organic growth.
And it's good that you mentioned about innovation, because in order to compete, if we're talking of exports, exporters here in the Philippines have a lot of work to do in order to be competitive. Thank you for this insightful conversation. Italian Chamber of Commerce President Sergio Boero.
Thank you for having me.
We will continue to deliver just the facts and the news you need. Until our next Newsmaker, I'm Lois Calderon.